prevention is the need of the hour. It needs to be monitored and put an end to. Sulig best morning, everyone. Today we are gathered virtually for a webinar on cyberbullying, in which will be tackled by our speakers later. To start, let us have the singing of the national anthem to be followed by a prayer through multimedia.
Kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of good health and peace that we have enjoyed for so many years. As we find ourselves in this time of crisis today, we ask for your divine intervention and mercy to be upon each of us. Come and guide the minds of those working to discover a treatment to the COVID-19 virus. Grant them wisdom, knowledge, and clarity of mind, so that all peoples will be free from the threat of this ailment. We also pray for the healthcare workers that are standing in the front line of this battle. Father, we thank you for their hearts of service, putting the needs of society before their own, generously responding to the cry of your people. We ask that you will grant them strength and protection as they give of themselves in selfless service. May you fill them with your Holy Spirit as they work to be your healing hands and feet. Father, we also surrender to you all those who have been afflicted with the virus. Grant them your healing grace, merciful Father, so that they may recover swiftly and continue to be witnesses of your love in their lives. Mother Mary, we ask for your intercession in this great time of need. Cover each of us with your blue mantle of protection, so that we may be preserved in good health, to continue to glorify your Son, Jesus Christ. We make this prayer through Christ our Savior and Redeemer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
At this juncture, let us have the welcome remarks of Miss Princess May Bracho, the SSG President.
Sulig best morning to one and all. Bullying behavior creates a culture of fear and has a negative impact on everyone involved. Being bullied can seriously affect a person's physical, emotional, academic, and social well-being. Many victims of bullying lack confidence, feel bad about themselves, have few friends, and spend a lot of time alone. This is the most common problem that our society is facing nowadays. Today, we will give you a knowledge about cyberbullying, and with that, I would like to welcome you all to webinar on cyberbullying. Enjoy learning and sulig best morning to all.
Thank you for that wonderful welcome remarks, Miss Princess May Bracho. And this time, may I call in Miss Jerlyn Rose M. Tarek, SSG Secretary, for the introduction of the speaker.
Sulig best morning everyone. Our speaker for today's webinar is a former SSG President of St. Vincent de Paul Diocesan College, year 2015 to 2016. Also a former senior high school SC House Speaker of St. Vincent de Paul Diocesan College, year 2017 to 2018. She is an AY National Service Awardee in the year 2017 to 2018 and an aspirant SDG Youth Action Forum. She is also a Finance and Logistics Officer at Philippine Normal University Mindanao's Student Government. Let us all welcome Ma'am Ana Pamela Bandoy.
Yes, hi. Hello everyone. Welcome to our discussion today. But first things first, I would just like to express my gratitude to the people behind this initiative for having me here today. Thank you so much, Sir Lavon Mart Lacuna, my former kinakusgang Senior High School Student Council and Class Advisor in St. Vincent de Paul Diocesan College. And of course, thank you so much as well to Mabog National High School. Okay, I will be sharing my screen now. But before that, I will be turning off my camera to expand the bandwidth for my presentation. Okay? Thank you so much for understanding. Now, okay, I believe you are seeing my screen now. Yes, our topic for today will be cyberbullying and you. From working and studying online to socializing, shopping, and online banking, it seems that many people's lives have been digitized since March last year when the COVID-19 pandemic began to dissipate around the world. And while the acceleration of digitization has its advantages, it has not come without problems. Having more digital leisure time, coupled with increased stress, can make people hostile. Stress can lead many to develop self preservation and self defense behaviors. Even more, when dealing with a crisis such as this pandemic. Moreover, although it happens to everyone, young people are more likely to become hostile in their online interactions, even with friends. That is why we will be discussing how we are going to present ourselves or um, position ourselves with one of the most common problems that takes place in the internet, and that is cyberbullying. All right. Now, our discussion will consist of the facts and statistics of cyberbullying. How are we to spot cyberbullies and cyberbullying? How are we going to avoid cyberbullying? How are we going to cope with cyberbullying? And how are we going to help people who are cyberbullied? And of course, we're going to determine at the end of our discussion how are we going to position ourselves in relation to cyberbullying. Okay? But before we will proceed with the following discussion, I would just like to leave a trigger warning to everyone. because the following slides may contain contents that some of you may find inappropriate, upsetting, and triggering. Okay? So I advise everyone to please proceed with caution. Okay? It's better if you have a guardian or a parent beside you listening with you in this entire discussion. Okay, but if you are uncomfortable and you wish to not proceed, you may leave the discussion respectively. Okay? Now, to introduce you to our discussion, I would just like to ask you these following questions. Okay? Have you ever said these words in the first column to someone, personally or online? Have you ever said to them they are ugly, they are fat, stupid, nerd, weirdo, dumb, or idiot? Or have you ever said to everyone false rumors about someone, lies about someone, hate about someone, and or have you ever cursed someone? Have you? Or in a different scenario, have you ever been told those words? This word in the first column. Have you ever been told false rumors about yourself, lies about yourself, hate from someone, and have you ever been cursed? To answer that, I ask everyone to please drop one or type one in the comment section if you committed to the first question. You have committed the first question. You have said those words to someone, personally or online. Type 1. If you experience this question or this scenario flashed on your screen now, please type 2. If neither of the two experiences I have mentioned, please type 0. Now, I will be giving you 5 seconds to do that, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? I assume we have all left our answers below. Okay? By that, to everyone who dropped 1, I advise you to please be very attentive to our discussion, to the following discussions, because I believe you will be learning something about yourself and you will be learning something about what you did. Okay? Now, to everyone that dropped 2, I apologize. I am very sorry for your experience. And I hope the following discussion, you will learn on the following discussion, yes, you will learn something and you will be able to determine how you're going to respond to this experience in the near future. And for everyone who typed 0, I also encourage you to please be very attentive to our discussion, because by the end of the discussion, you will be determining which position are you going to play with regards to cyberbullying. Okay? Now let's proceed. At this point, I will be showing you a video presentation about our discussion. Okay?
One day, I was walking home with my best friend. She was so pumped about something. I have really strict parents, and I have to come home straight away after school. This is my best friend, so I have to go with her. She wanted to tell me what she was so excited about. One day, I was walking home with my best friend. She was so pumped about something. I have really strict parents, and I have to come home straight away after school. This is my best friend, so I have to go with her. She wanted to tell me what she was so excited about. So we ran to the nearest park. She took out a slip of paper from her bag, which read out a phone number.
But this wasn't any phone number. It was a phone number of a girl's that she was in beef with. I gasped as I saw it. She's like, I know, right? You have to text her. And I wasn't really sure about it because I don't want to get in trouble. We ran to the nearest bench in the park and she started texting this number, saying, Hi, it's me, Jason from school. And she started asking her questions like, hey, wanna hang out sometime? And really gross things like asking her for nudes. The girl, whose number it was actually answering all this stuff and sent a picture of herself naked. When we saw this, we screamed so much and we started running around the floor and laughing. It was so funny. My friend and I kept running to the park every day after school to text this girl and to text his boy from school. The girl kept looking at the boy called Jason at school, twisting her hair at him like he was actually texting her. And every single time she did this, we burst out laughing. It was so funny. But one day, she asked to do a video call, and my friend was like, what am I going to do? I'm not Jason. So she just made it that she was sick and that she looked a mess. But this girl did not believe him. So she kept ringing and ringing on FaceTime to see if it was actually Jason. So one day at school, she went up to Jason and said, hey, why can't you FaceTime? You don't look sick. And he was just like, what are you talking about? My friend was watching this and she laughed so loud. It was so obvious that it was her. The girl turned around and gave her the dirtiest look possible. She knew it was her. We were busted. She went and reported this to the school and we were so scared. The police got involved. Because apparently this was called cyberbullying. My friend got grounded, and so did I. But now I know that if one of my friends wants to do this, I have to stay out of it, or try and persuade them not to do it.
Okay, that was a very informative video presentation, right? Now, there are a lot of points that we need to be worried about in relation to cyberbullying. One point present in there is that they are the perpetrators, the best friends, they are ignorant of the actions they're doing, right? They do not know what is cyberbullying, and they do not know that their actions is a crime, right? Now, to avoid that, to everyone who is watching now, let us first be acquainted with what is cyberbullying, okay? Now, cyberbullying takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. This can occur through SMS, text, and apps, or online in social media, forums, or video gaming, right? Now, this also includes sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. And this also includes sharing personal or private information about someone else, causing embarrassment or humiliation. Now, as you have observed, the definition fits perfectly with what the best friends did, right? They collected a private information about someone, and they used it to humiliate or embarrass the victim. Okay? Now, we will be proceeding to... Okay, for a while, my presentation is still loading. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now, we will be proceeding to the statistics of cyberbullying. This is the current statistics conducted in a global study. Here in the link I have provided. Now, first, the most common type of online bullying is mean comments, with 22.5% of the population doing it or has observed it. Yes. 35% had shared a screenshot of someone's status or photo to laugh at them. Now, I believe that today, in this generation, it is very common that we leave to our friends' profile pictures, post, some mean comments, jokingly. Yes, sometimes it's sarcasm, right? But we should be aware that it's one of the forms of cyberbullying by just leaving negative comments, mean comments on someone's Facebook account or other social media. That can already be considered cyberbullying. Okay, please be of note because I believe you are very acquainted to this action. Okay, now let's proceed. 61% of teens who report being bullied say it was because of their appearance. Now, this is also very common, not just in the cyber world, but also personally, 'di ba? In the face-to-face setting. Since then, there are people who are really ignorant of the idea. Sorry for the word. Sorry for the word ignorant. Yes. They are ignorant of the idea of individuality. Diba? They are not aware or they deny the idea that there are people that would not be looking like them, would not be as white as their skin, but because they are ignorant about that idea or they do not want to accept that idea, they tend to attack the person with their different appearance, right? And that is very common. And because in the cyber world, not every one of us are acquainted with each other, and not every one of us know the person we are dealing with or we are um, seeing in our news feed. So our basic um, what do you call this? Our basic information about that person is their appearance. Is that's the basic because that's what we see on their profile picture, and right, and because of that, we tend to be very specific with what they look like, and if we are not aware or we are ignorant of the idea of individuality, we tend to attack them because we are afraid of strange things. We are afraid of foreign things, diba? And that is very sad. Next is 56% of online harassment victims reported that they had been harassed on Facebook. Of course, one of the most common social media application visited by not only teens but also adults in the world, especially in the Philippines. It's the number one application used is Facebook. So it's not really shocking that most of this harassment or crimes are committed or is existing in this social media application. Okay? 7 in 10 young people experience cyberbullying before they hit the age of 18. Imagine you are still a minor and you are not mature enough to grasp the idea of um, being attacked by people because of whatever reason it is. But that is also maybe the reason why they are attacking you. Maybe because they are also immature. They are not yet grasping the idea. They did not yet grasp the idea of um, differences within people if they are attacking you with your appearance, or they are not aware yet of what are the things not to do with people. Okay, so maybe that is the reason why most of the victims are young people. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, for a while now, 60% of parents with children aged 14 to 18 reported them being bullied. Now, this is a very positive statistics, personally, I believe, because imagine for this data gathered by the research or the study, I concluded three positive factors about this. One is that the victims or the children, the minors, are able to share their experiences with their parents. They are able to seek help to solve the experiences they have, and they became very open with their parents, and that leads them to reporting the incident, right? Second is that the parents are very open, and they are listening to their children. They understand the situation of their children, and they did not invalidate the experience of the children, diba? Most of the parents kasi I have observed is they just dismiss the idea of bullying as child play. Okay, and that is very sad, because what the trauma of the experience will be left in the child as he or she grow older. Okay, and that is a very positive statistic, positive data, because they are listening with their children. They observe that their children is experiencing bad, they are able to seek also immediate actions to be able to solve or address the experience of their children. Now, third is that imagine among the number or the population of the victims, 60% is a great number already. Okay, but we cannot deny that there are 40% of those people that they are not able to see the experience of their child, but I hope that they will. Okay. Next, 19.2% stated that bullying occurred through social media sites and apps, of course. Most of the children today, the teens today, given the pandemic, especially, their immediate leisure is through internet. And of course, these activities, this crime, would also be increasing. Okay, 11% indicated bullying occurred through text messages. And one form or one example of that is the video I have presented to you earlier, right? Then 7.9% identified video games as a source. Now, as you have observed, prior to the pandemic, if we visit, especially in the locality, if we visit a computer shop, we can see numbers of not only adults on the computer shop on lining with every unit, but also teens or out of school youth playing video games in the computer, and they are engaged with aggressive behavior. They also talk with using an aggressive language, right? And that is maybe because they are exposed to this um very harsh and aggressive environment in the video games, right? And maybe because they are also not aware that what they are doing is a crime. They curse someone they're playing with, they curse all the other people in the game, diba? And that is cyberbullying. I have set an example earlier on the questions I have asked you, right? Now, next, 3.3% indicated the bullying occurred through email. Imagine this platform, personally, I believe email platforms like Google Mail, Yahoo Mail is for me a platform for formal conversation, formal communication, but to some, they use it to for ill intent to someone. And that is very sad. You know, I have stumbled upon an information, but it was a sorry for this very vulgar, words or sharing. But I have if you remember, there were multiple times that a sex scandal on Facebook spread, diba? And I have stumbled upon one defensive post of the victim, uh, as a defense on his part, why the sex scandal of him and her girlfriend spread online. He said that um, someone hacked on his Google account. They accessed, or the perpetrator accessed all the details or the information on his Google account and his Google Drive. And maybe they found the video, the private video, saved on the Google Drive or sent to someone on through email, and they used it to spread to be spread on Facebook, and that is one form of hacking and one form of bullying that happens through email. Okay. Next, okay, for a while. The analysis of 46 publicly available tweets related to cyberbullying revealed a direct correlation between the pandemic and cyberbullying incidents. Of course, what do we expect? The more we increase, the more number of people engaged in online activities and in the internet, because we have shifted, we have adopted the idea that the new normal is situated in online, in the internet, on the internet, right? So, of course, the more people present or is active online, the more of these incidents happen, because they cannot be able to personally do the action, do the crime, right? So the immediate platform they are to do their actions, their crime, is, yes, social media, and that is cyberbullying, not just bullying, cyberbullying. Okay. Next, online toxicity and cyberbullying on social media sites and video conferencing apps increased by up to 70% due to the pandemic. That's a very high number. This included a sharp rise in toxicity and bullying directed at Asians, of course. If you remember, on the first months of the surge of the pandemic last year, di ba, one of the news being reported is the attack, Asians being attacked on other countries, especially on the Western countries. Diba? Western people tend to be blaming Asians because the origin of the pandemic is in an Asian country. And the first victims of COVID-19 are Asians. Okay? So they tend to be stressed about the situation, and they develop this blame game, and they have directed the blame to the Asians. And it was a very sad experience for the Asians on Western countries and other countries, European countries, because they get they are attacked randomly on the streets while they are buying groceries, while they are just walking their dogs. If you remember, they are just they receive this not only um mental abuse from the people they receiving the blame, but they also get physical. Okay, they got physically attacked by these people, and that is a very sad experience. I don't know, but maybe because they are just racist. Okay, let's proceed. We do not know that. Can an increase in hate speech among children and teens that correlated directly with an increase of COVID-19 infections with the populace? Of course, this is because the more, the higher the cases of infections in a country, the higher, the tighter the lockdowns are, diba? And on those times, the past months, we are on a lockdown. And the immediate leisure, I have mentioned this earlier, the immediate leisure of these children, of these teens, is online, is in the internet, because they cannot do the normal outdoor activities they are doing from before. So they are looking for a substitute. Their leisure shifted from outdoor activities to online. And of course, that is where they have developed these toxic attitudes. Okay, but did you know, di ba? One of the um, factor on the video presentation earlier is that they are also ignorant with the law, and it's a very famous line: ignorance of the law excuses no one. And that is the reason why the girls are punished on the video, diba? The police got involved after they have been reported to the principal, right? Now, I will be introducing to you, I will be sharing to you some of the few of the laws in the Philippines that can be used to justify or to punish um, mm, those who commit to cyberbullying. Okay, but this is not limited to these laws only. Okay, please be of note of these laws. Okay, first is Republic Act number 10175, otherwise known as the Cybercrime Act of the Philippines. Now, although there is no provision provided by this act directly addressing, cyberbullying, some of its provisions can be used for justice relating to specific scenarios of cyberbullying in adults. Okay, please be of note that in adults. Some of this is online libel, identity theft, hacking. Now, for identity theft, if the perpetrator created and assumed the identity of a victim and used said account to embarrass and harass the victim, then they are liable or they are guilty of identity theft under this Public Act. Okay? Next is if the perpetrator hacked and used the victim's account to embarrass and harass the victim, then they are guilty with hacking under Republic Act number 10175. Okay, I have said the example of this one earlier, the one with the sex scandal, diba? That's a form of hacking. So they are, those perpetrators are liable of this law. Okay? Now let's proceed to Republic Act number 10627, otherwise known as Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Now, if you remember, the previous Republic Act is for adults. Okay? Now, this one is for minors, for children. Okay? The prior law does not address the entire or the direct idea of cyberbullying, right? But this one, differently from the other one, this one directly addresses cyberbullying in children. Okay? This act aims to protect children enrolled in kindergarten, elementary, and secondary schools and learning centers, collectively, the schools, from being bullied. Now, by that, this means that all the cyberbullying or the bullying that happens on higher educational institutions or the colleges cannot be covered under this act. Okay? Now, schools are required to adopt policies to address the existence of bullying in their respective institutions. Diba, as you have observed, in the video presentation earlier, although the setting of the video is not in the Philippines, but what the school did to address the situation or the report of the victim, they are following the rules under this Republic Act, right? They have adopted policies to address the situation, and therefore they got the police involved. They call out an authority to be able to address the crime. Okay? So please be of note of that before you are going to do cyberbullying. Okay? Now let's proceed to Republic Act number 7610, otherwise known as Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. Although again, just like the first one, this does not cover directly the situations or the crimes of cyberbullying, but some of its provisions can be used to give justice to the victim. And that, I mean, the Article 6, Section 10 of this Republic Act, other acts of neglect, abuse, cruelty, or exploitation and other conditions prejudicial to the child's development. You can read the following content. Now, if you also wanted to read other details about this Republic Act, I have provided links on each of the slides where I got the information, and you can read it, okay? You can ask me or the organizers of this event for this presentation. Okay? Or you can do your own research about this. Okay. Now, let's proceed to, for a while, House Bill. Okay. It's not yet flashing my screen. Okay. House Bill 5718. Okay. Did you know that in 2015, Representative Rolando G. Andayo Jr., the Camarines Sur representative, proposed House Bill 5718, otherwise known as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2015. Do you remember what is the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013? Do you? Please drop it in the comment section. Okay, that's Republic Act number 10627, otherwise known as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Right? Now, what's different with this House Bill is that it's very specific to cyberbullying. Okay? This bill aims to encourage people to become a responsible netizen about their cyber actions. This will help to enlighten everyone's mind when it comes to their actions via social media or internet, that they have to use it properly without putting someone's life in danger. Okay? This also states that those who will be found guilty of cyberbullying shall be fined a penalty of 50,000 pesos, but not more than 100,000 pesos, and imprisonment of not less than 6 months, but not more than 6 years, or both. Now, if you're going to research on all the other laws I have mentioned earlier, they are not very specific with the punishment. Okay, but this House Bill is very specific with the financial punishment or the fine and the imprisonment. Okay, and we're very excited. I am very excited to be hearing an update of this proposal. Okay, now let's proceed. For a while. Okay. Now we proceed to spotting cyberbullies. Right? Now, while some kids or some of us turn into bullies during preschool, others don't start bullying until the teen years. Learning about the common characteristics of a teenage bully can help us identify kids or who may be at risk of becoming a bully. It can also help us better understand why some kids turn into bullies and others don't. While one teenage bully may primarily attack people online, others may bully their peers at school, especially on the prior situation before the pandemic. Okay, despite whatever method they use to torment their targets, research shows most teenage bullies share these characteristics and exhibit these behaviors. Okay, please be of note. Bullies tend to have a little respect for authority. Okay? They have difficulty following rules. They lack empathy. They are impulsive. They are short tempered. And they view violence in a positive way. And most of them are perceived popular. Okay? Now, there is a common denominator with these characteristics. Bullies or potential bullies tend to view themselves not only popular or maybe because they're popular that they are superior, that they are dominant with other people around them. Okay, that's the reason why they tend to see others as someone to be targeted with their um their hate, or I don't know, their insecurities, or I don't know. And that is why they tend to attack these people, because they see themselves as powerful. They see themselves as above these people. And they think that they can do everything with them because they are below them. Okay? That is one of the reasons. I or the characteristics of a bully or a potential bully. Okay, please be able to spot this with your siblings, your relatives, your cousins, or your classmates or your friends. Please be able to spot this. Okay, who knows? One of the people you interact with are potential bullies, and you might be one of their targets. Okay, now let's proceed for a while. Okay, now most bullies, according to research, are with underlying mental health issues. Okay, now, okay, for a while. Now, most of the bullies became bullies because they have experienced abuse or traumatic events in their lives. Okay, the most common mental issue with them are said to be anxiety and behavior issues. Okay, they are exposed to a very toxic environment, maybe their homes, and thus they develop those characteristics we have tackled before this slide. Okay, maybe because they feel inferior at that specific toxic environment, they tend to act otherwise on another environment. Okay, they tend to act like they are superior, or they tend to think that they are superior. They wanted to be superior in that different environment because they cannot be able to do that on the toxic environment they have prior experience. Okay, and that develops not only anxiety but of course behavior issues. Okay, and that is a very sad reality with the bullies. Although we can see them as someone to be punished, but they are also experiencing the same sad situation but in a different environment. Okay, now let's proceed for a while. Let's proceed to the signs of the start of cyberbullying. Although these are only few of the signs that indicate cyberbullying is starting to take place, but spotting these signs is very important. This is not only limited to this following information, but there are also more. Okay? First is you start receiving mean comments or messages. That's the start of cyberbullying. Now, if you don't want to be tagged as cyberbullying, please refrain from dropping or leaving mean comments to someone, especially to a stranger. Okay? Do not also send private messages to someone just to only leave mean comments to them, especially if you are in beef with, just like on the presentation, because on the video, because they are not in good terms. The other one committed cyberbullying. Okay? Next is being threatened and or blackmailed. Okay, the most common threat or blackmail today in the social media world or the online world is the threat of spreading private photos or videos of someone. Okay? But that is a form of cyberbullying. Now, if you're aware of this, please refrain from doing so. Okay? Or tell others you know that is doing this. Please tell them that it's cyberbullying and we have laws that will punish them. Okay? Next is online identity stolen. Just like on the video presentation again. One of the girls stole the identity of their classmate just to embarrass and humiliate the other girl. Okay? Next is receiving unsolicited sexual comments or messages or requests. I know there are people here, especially if they are in friends with anonymous or dummy accounts on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I know you will be receiving some of these sexual requests, sexual comments, or sexual messages. Even they are sending you randomly unsolicited private pictures. Diba? Have you experienced that? You should report that. Okay? Because that is cyberbullying. Okay, next is disclosing private conversations online. Now, this is a very common situation today, especially with, I will give you an example on online selling. Diba? Although, some of the reasons why this online seller posts conversations about their customer online because they are bogus buyers, as they said. Diba? They wanted to track the bogus buyer for their orders, diba? So they post the conversation as evidence. But social media is not the place to do the report, is not the place to present the evidences, because we have the authority. No, we have the authority. They are the ones that should be presented by these evidences, diba? And not online, because that will only trigger cyberbullying. Diba? Have you observed everyone on the comment section on that specific post where the seller is posting the bogus buyer? Everyone in the comment section, they are attacking the bogus buyer, right? Or everyone that shared the post, they are putting captions attacking the 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 bogus buyer, right? And that is cyberbullying, diba? Have you remembered on the statistics what are some of the common or most common um forms of cyberbullying? One of that is mean comments. One of that is sharing screenshots of someone or a conversation just to laugh at them, just to bully them. Okay? Remember that. That is where cyberbullying starts. Now, reflect on yourself. Have you ever did one of those actions? Have you? Now, for committing that, you need to be avoiding that soon. Okay? Do not do that again. Do not do that again in the future, because that is cyberbullying. If the bogus buyer or the one is being posted wanted to take action, he can be punished. Okay? So please refrain from doing that. Refrain from participating into something that triggers cyberbullying. Okay? Please be of note. Now, next. Now, on this part, these are tips, few of the tips for the teachers and parents. Now, I have told you earlier, if you are not comfortable with our discussion today, be with your guardian or parents, right? Now, if you are with your parents or guardian, please have them listen to this, okay, and the following discussions. Okay, if you are not with them, have them view this later, okay, when they are available. Please, okay, because this is very helpful. This will be very helpful for everyone, especially the parents. Okay? Now, for the mom and sir, for the mama and papa, your child or your student may be a victim of bullying or cyberbullying if one, they withdraw from family, friends, and activities they previously enjoyed. Okay, two, they suffer an unexplained drop in grades. Teachers are very can spot this. Okay, so parents, please be informed of the performance of your children in the school, their academic performance. Okay, next is they refuse to go to school or to specific classes or avoid group activities. Okay, one, this can be spotted by teachers when they are doing activities, and parents if their children are keeps on asking them to um, skip school. Okay. Another thing, the children or the students show changes in mood, behavior, and sleep, appetite, or show signs of depression or anxiety. Okay, now the last one is very complicated. Why? Because some of the parents, some of the older generations tend to be to lack knowledge about this depression and anxiety. Some of them dismiss this as something um ano, some of them dismiss this because it's just overacting in this in the part of the child, 'di ba? OA lang ka, ana, 'di ba? And that is very sad because they do not have the enough knowledge about depression and anxiety. They are not informed well about that. And some of the things that experience of the child may trigger worst case on their situation. Okay? And we do not want that. So parents, please be able to educate yourself about depression and anxiety. Okay? Because who knows, our children or our yes, they are experiencing depression and we are not doing anything to help them because we are not knowledgeable enough about it. Okay? Next, they avoid discussions or are secretive about their cell phone or computer activities. Okay? There might be something wrong. They became sad, angry, or distressed during or after. Sorry for that. During or after being online. They also appear anxious when viewing a text, email, or social media post. Now you need to be very um you need to monitor your children's sorry for that. You need to monitor your children's activities online, especially if they are minor. Okay, parents, teachers. Okay. Now let's proceed. Okay. Now we proceed to avoiding cyberbullying. These are only a few of the ways for someone to avoid cyberbullying. Okay? Avoid committing cyberbullying. Okay? First, use respectful language. Okay? Whenever you are interacting online, or you're talking with a stranger, you do not know them personally, please be very specific with the language you use. Okay, use respectful language. Okay, you do not want to be misinterpreted. You do not want to start a fight. You do not want. Okay, okay. Now, name calling, cursing, expressing deliberately offensive opinions, if you wouldn't do it to the face of anyone who might conceivably see what you write, don't write it, okay? Or just don't write it in general. Having to have different opinions or different opinions from someone, they posted something you are not in, you do not agree, just let it, okay? They have the freedom to express what they are saying online, what they are posting online, and you have also your freedom, but you do not have the freedom to be offensive with your opinion. You do not have the freedom, I'm sorry, you do not have the freedom to attack the person because they have a different opinion than yours, okay? Please be very respectful with each other's opinion, okay? Do not just go and tell them they are wrong and they are stupid because they think like that. If you wanted to correct them in private and correct them politely, okay? This goes for any social media site, forum, chat room, or email. Even if you think it can't be traced back to you, if you leave mean comments or whatever, it can. Okay? Facebook has its own ways. And it's not just what you say, but how you say it. No, not only personally, but of course, there are ways on how you say things online. Okay? Take the trouble to use the shift key for capital letters, or just write in lowercase. You can do that, but don't use caps lock, okay? Text in all caps is generally perceived as yelling. Now, if you do not want to be perceived like you're angry because you're yelling while talking to someone online, while on a conversation online, do not type in all caps, okay? Just that is seen as an aggressive message, okay? Also, please don't forget to include the word please and thank you to appropriately deliver your message, okay, without sounding rude, without sounding offensive with someone. Okay, that's the very common and basic action to take when you are talking to someone online, because they cannot see your facial expressions, they cannot hear the tone of your voice, they cannot see your hand gestures or your body movements. No, they cannot perceive if you are being rude or if you're being polite. So the most secure way of doing that is to add please, add thank you, and all the other polite words that you can think of. Okay? Now let's proceed to share with discretion. Okay. Now, avoid, to every one of you here, I do not know if you have done this or not, but let's just assume that you're not, and take this as a warning. Okay, avoid sending naked sex pictures. Okay, drunk pictures, drug use pictures, or simply unedited home video or home photograph to someone, especially to someone you do not know, okay? Or just posting it to different sites, even if you're covering your face or anything, okay? If you would have a problem with your boss, your parents, or your kids seeing it now or at any point in the future, don't post it online. Just don't post any sensitive and confidential information about yourself online. Okay, one of the very common as well situation today is when we are arguing with someone. Personally, we are in argument with our boss, we're in argument with our friends, and we tend to share it online. Diba? We rant ourselves online. Okay? It's like we are telling the world that we are arguing with someone, that they are stupid, that they are idiot because they are arguing with us about our opinions or anything. And that is cyberbullying, okay? You're encouraging cyberbullying, okay? Because you wanted Although you do not want that, but the idea of your post is giving people impression that they are to comment in agree with your statement. Okay, they would they would be uh they would tend to attack the person too, or yes. So please avoid on doing that too. Okay, now number 3, do not include others. Okay, do not exclude others, rather. If you have an in-joke to share with only one person or only a small number of people, but you are in a large or a larger online group, send them a private message. Do not send that on the group chat or the Facebook group. Okay? And that is also an example of the earlier situation. Diba? You are only directing a message to someone. So you do not need to post it online. Other people do not need to hear it. Okay? Like the idea of posting it, you are to you are to share them with everyone. You are to share them with the public. Okay? But that is not the idea of that. You are in argument with only one person. So do not do that. Okay? Don't don't make, especially if you are not responding to questions like unsa day nahitabo, unsa day problema ninyo, unsa day mo kaaway. If you don't want to respond to that, if you don't want to let them know who are you arguing with, what specific things they're asking, if you don't want to respond to that, don't post it. Okay, don't make everyone else feel left out of the information you have posted. Okay, especially on Facebook status, especially on a forum or whatever platform you are engaged with. Okay? Next. Okay, sorry for that. Now, next is respect people's privacy. Okay, don't forward information sent to you without checking with the original sender first if they consent you or they permit you to share or forward the information. Okay, you might think that all of us here are friends online, but your friend or the friend you have the conversation with or the information about may not want their identity, their names, or email address publicized to people they do not even know. Okay? Please be very specific with consent and permission, especially if it's a private information about someone. Okay? The same goes for uploading photos or videos that include other people to public space or sending them out to your own contacts. Remember, if you tag people on Facebook, diba, others can access pictures of those people unless they have adjusted their privacy settings. But some of the people today, they are not very specific with their settings, Facebook settings, privacy settings. So we cannot just post a picture without their consent, especially if it's a very sensitive picture. Okay? Also, another thing, don't sign up for newsletters or other communications using someone else's email address. Okay? Now, next one. Fact check online info. Okay? Okay. The cure for cancer might sound pretty impressive, but it will just cause upset if it is a hoax. Okay? If you have remember, or if you watched the recent or the new movie in Netflix called Sweet Girl, diba? It was a very it was related to cancer. It started with the cure for cancer that spread online or on televisions because we have the cure for cancer now. So people who are with cancer patient family, they tend to be very excited. They are glad that we have the cure for cancer now. But on the movie, it engaged with a corruption within the company, and that is the reason that it upset the family of the cancer patient, because their only hope was lost, and that very moment the patient died from cancer, and everything started. The chaos started. The messed up plot of the story became worse because of that. Okay, but that is also a different scenario. Okay, now also urban myths add to the noise of the internet and waste people's time. Okay, if you aren't sure of the facts, email it or send it to someone who does know or can find out, or do a research on Google or any other information websites. Okay, but don't forget also that this one. Don't forget that many viruses are circulated via chain letters and invitations to send some seemingly pertinent piece of information to 10 of your friends or everyone in your address book. So don't be naive, okay? Forwarding that message will not bring you good luck, but just bad karma. Okay? When you access a link sent by someone, for example, they are the information, the thumbnail is a Gcash giveaway, but the link address on the link sent to you or the message sent to you is not the same on the content. It's not from Gcash itself. Then that most likely is a virus that will only trigger in accessing your private information or your Facebook account. Okay, so please be be very wise with the information you share online or you receive online. Okay, next one is to choose online friends wisely. Okay, it is personally, it is insulting to be dropped from someone's friends list on a social media site. Okay, it's offensive on my part. So think about it before sending a friend request or accepting an invitation if you don't want to be in touch with someone. Okay, don't add them in the first place. Don't accept their friend request in the first place. Okay, if you don't want them. If you do not want them to be in contact with with them in your social media account. The obvious exception to this is if you friend or you accept the friend request of someone or you send a friend request to someone while you are getting along and then you have a disagreement, then by all means unfriend them. If the relationship is beyond repair, okay? But don't torture them with on again, off again friending. Okay? Um if you want to just unfriend them only once. Do not add them again just to unfriend them. Okay? But basically, you just need to also prioritize your peace. Okay? Although I might be insulted if I will be dropped on someone's friends list without an explanation, but if it gives them peace, then so be it. Okay? Now, if you also want to stay in touch with a colleague for a professional reason, but you do not want your Facebook account to be in access with them because they are not your personal acquaintance or personal friends, tell them you only use Facebook for close personal friendships. Don't then join on LinkedIn or another professional networking site for a more distant contacts. Okay? So that's it. Okay, now this one is the actions, the ways you should do when you are a target of cyberbullying. Okay? It is never really fun, or it's just generally a very sad and traumatic experience to be bullied, whether that be in real life or online. Diba? Still, if you happen to be a victim of cyberbullying, these ways here are some of the things that you should do so that you may prevent threats from happening in the future relating to cyberbullying. Also, these actions help prevent getting bullied and can help provide safety once brought to the attention of the authorities. Okay, first one, do not respond. Okay, if you find that you are receiving hurtful comments and threatening messages, then the correct action is not to respond. Okay, by actively preventing from responding to any accusations or rumors, you can prevent the bullying from aggravating into something greater. Okay, now one example of that is just a recent issue online. If you have stumbled upon this discussion that circulated on Facebook, it was related to Villa Griata. Okay, I do not intend to attack the resort or the people involved, but I just want to share this information because I wanted to give you a very specific example. Okay, now there was this one, I wouldn't be naming them, huh? There was this one customer, a group of customer or visitors in the resort who are not very much satisfied with the treatment they have or the customer service they have received from the staffs of the resort, especially with the family owner of the resort. Okay, so the moment they they went home and did their visit on the resort, one of them posted about their experience, and the post is very specific. She shared all of the details from the moment they entered the resort and the moment that they have encountered the owner. Okay, and by all means, the owner and the resort perceived it as something that wants to destroy their image or the reputation of the resort and the family, and that is why instead of reporting it to the authority about it being false information or something like that, the owner responded to the post on her private account, on her Facebook account, on her personal account, harshly, aggressively. Okay, she responded aggressively with the accusation of the visitor or the customer. But upon reading both sides of it was just a misunderstanding, no? So later on, the owner deleted her post on her personal account and left a message directed to that person on their Facebook page, on the resort's Facebook page, explaining that it was just a misunderstanding and everything. But the issue already became greater. Okay, it already reached more people because the owner responded aggressively. No, so that is that's one specific example of this cyberbullying. So if you are attacked with someone with an accusation or a rumor, next, seek help from an adult. Okay, if you feel like you're being a target of cyberbullying, then you should immediately let an adult know. Let an adult who you can trust know. Okay, an adult will be able to guide you and advise you in such situations and help prevent you from getting further bullied. Okay, if you remember, 60% of the population of the parents reported that their child has been cyberbullied. Okay? You should be part of that population. Okay, next, make evidence. Now, when getting cyberbullied, this is the most crucial part. Okay, it is important to keep calm, although this might be hard for the other people. But just try to keep calm and save all conversations as evidence to present to the authorities. Okay, screenshot, copy all the threatening messages and comments and records of voice calls if it is that suggest ill intent, and save that at all times. Okay? Compose yourself and collect all the evidence that is needed for the report you're going to make. Okay? Next is block the bully. After saving and making all the copies of the conversation and messages, okay, you have um, receiving mean things or you bullying you, block the person immediately from all possible platforms. If they are calling you through a phone number, block their phone number. Okay, if they are talking to you or bullying you on your Facebook account, block them on your Facebook account. Okay? Blocking will help protect you and your information. It can also prevent you from being further bullied. Okay? But just remember to save all the necessary evidences. Okay? The screenshots, the copies, everything. Okay? Next to that is to deactivate your account. Okay? The most common, or there's a big possibility that after you have blocked the bully on Facebook or whatever platform you're dealing with them, they will be making another account, or they will be using another account to continue their action or their bullying. Okay? Or they wanted to hack your account. That's the scenario of the situation. It's better if you deactivate your account. Okay? At least for 3 to 5 days. Just let the situation breathe. Let the bully forget his anger if he has on you, and just deactivate. Okay? When you think that the situation has gotten better, then you reactivate your account. Okay? Next is, of course, contact the authority. No matter what the cause and amount on your perception, cyberbullying is cyberbullying, and it is a criminal offense. Okay, do not think that it's just false rumor about me. It's just a mean comment from someone. It's just someone who posted our private pictures. But please be reminded that it is cyberbullying. It is a criminal offense that will be addressed by specific laws in our country, and thus that person should be punished rightfully. Okay? If you happen to feel threatened by an individual, contacting the law enforcement and letting them know about the situation should be your top priority. Okay? Please be of note of that. Now, this one is for the parents. Okay? This might be most applicable if you are seeing the signs or the characteristics in your child of becoming a potential cyberbully or bully. Okay, parents, please be of note of this. First, learn about your child's life. Okay, now if as a parent, if your behavior at home or as a guardian isn't negatively influencing your child, it's possible that their friends or peers are encouraging the bullying behavior. Okay, your child may be struggling. This is just one scenario. Your child may be struggling to fit in or develop relationships with other kids. Then talk to your child. The more you understand his or her life, the easier you'll be able to identify the source of the problem. Okay? Next is to educate them about bullying. Now, your child may not understand how hurtful and damaging their behavior can be. Okay? Foster empathy and awareness by encouraging your child to look at their actions from the victim's perspective. Okay? Remind your child that bullying and cyberbullying can have serious legal consequences. That's the other situation. That's the other factor present in the video presentation in the video I have presented to you earlier. Okay, the parents may have been gotten strict that one of the best friends, are not able to talk to them about the situation. They are not educated that it was cyberbullying, and they were not educated that there is a legal consequence on their actions. Okay? So please do not be that parent. Okay? Next, teach them to manage stress. Teach your child positive ways to manage stress. Your child's bullying may be an attempt at relieving stress, okay? Or your own stress, or your own anxiety, or worries as a parent, as a guardian, may be creating an unstable home environment, okay? Exercising, spending time in nature, or playing with a pet are great ways for both kids and you to let off steam and relieve tension. Okay? Now, if you are also not managing your stress well, do not let your kids adopt or be affected by the stress you feel, okay? Because it might give them the impression that stress is okay. Although stress in general is okay, but stress that will produce negative behavior is not okay. Okay? Next is set limits with technology. Okay? That it's not a good behavior and it should be given action. Okay? Next, establish rules of behavior. Now, make sure your child understands your rules and the punishment for breaking them. Make sure your child understands your rules and the punishment for breaking them. Okay, but please refrain from involving violence in the punishment. Okay, because it will only worsen the situation. It will only worsen the potential bullying characteristic of your child. Okay, please refrain from doing that. Children may not think they need discipline, but a lack of boundaries sends a signal that the child is unworthy of the parents' time, care, and attention. Now, most of the bullies tend to be doing these things, this bad behavior, because they wanted to get the attention of their parents. Maybe because they are not receiving the enough attention at home from their parents, and so they are doing these things to be able to have their parents see them. Okay? So, please be balanced with your parenting. Lastly, do not invalidate their feelings. Okay? When they are talking to you, when they wanted to share something or they have done something out of their emotions, out of a bad situation they are in, do not invalidate their feelings. You cannot just say nga na dili gyud maldito gyud ka after doing something out of maybe because they are just stressed with their academics. Diba? Do not just dismiss what they are feeling. Listen to them, understand them. Okay, that is your role as a parent, to avoid your child to experience mental health issues. Okay, we proceed to coping with cyberbullying. Now, these are only 6 of the ways that you can cope with cyberbullying. Okay, but of course, there's no simple solution to bullying or cyberbullying, and no foolproof way to handle a bully. Okay, but since bullying is rarely limited to 1 or 2 incidents, It's far more likely to be a sustained attack over a period of time. Like the bully, you may have to be relentless in reporting each and every bullying incident until it stops. But remember that there is no reason for you to ever put up with any kind of bullying. Okay? Now, first is do not blame yourself. Okay? It is not your fault. No matter what a bully says or does, you should not be ashamed of who you are or what you feel. Okay? Remind yourself that the bully is the person with the problem, not you. Okay? If he attacks your skin color, remember that the bully is the one who is ignorant of the idea of individuality. Okay? It's not your fault. Okay? You are beautiful, you are appreciated, and you are worth it. So please do not blame yourself. Okay? Next is view bullying at a different perspective. The bully is an unhappy, frustrated person who wants to have control over your feelings so that you feel as badly to yourself as they do to themselves. Okay? Think of that. Okay? They think of the things or the reasons why are doing it. Okay? And take that as an advantage to your part, and don't give them the satisfaction. Okay, if you think that they wanted to gain control over your feelings, do not give them the satisfaction. Do not let them affect you because that's the only thing that they wanted to affect you. Okay? So don't do that. Don't give them the satisfaction. Next, don't beat yourself up. Don't make a bullying incident worse by dwelling on it or reading cyberbullying messages over and over. Okay? Do not stick yourself on on the sad situation. Okay? Let it pass. Okay? But you can feel the emotions, you can feel the pain as long as you want. Okay? But don't get stuck on that situation, okay? Where you are going to reread the messages, the mean comments again and again because it will just only worsen the situation. Now instead, delete all the messages you received, all the mean comments you received, and focus on what positive things is happening in your life. Okay? There are many wonderful things about you that you should be proud of. Okay? So be proud of who you are. Okay? Fourth is manage your stress. Finding a healthy way to relieve the stress generated by bullying can make you, I'm sorry, can make you more resilient so you won't feel overwhelmed by negative experiences. Okay? You can exercise, you can meditate, you can do this. This is a very effective way. Well, this is personally, okay? Every day when you wake up, face a mirror. Okay? Face yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself. Tell things like I am beautiful. I am appreciated. I am wonderful. I am smart. Things like that. Appreciate yourself. Have a positive self-talk. Okay? And you can also do muscle relaxation, breathing exercises, or anything that will relieve you from the stress. Okay? Those are good ways to cope with the stress of bullying. Okay? Fifth, seek help from trusted people. Now, when you're being bullied, having trusted people you can turn to for encouragement and support will ease your stress and boost your self-esteem and resilience. Okay? Talk to a parent, a teacher, or a counselor, or other trusted adult, your tito, your tita, your cousin. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're weak or there's something wrong with you. But you should reach out to connect with them, with the people that is really concerned with you, that are really um appreciating you. Okay? Do not bind yourself with people who does not appreciate you, who doesn't even know you, but is bullying you. Okay? You have real friends. You have real family who appreciates you. So focus your attention to them and ignore the people that doesn't know you, that doesn't appreciate you. Okay? Lastly, unplug from technology. Now, I'm not telling you to completely disconnect yourself to technologies or to the internet, but just take a break. Take a break from your smartphones, your cell phones, your computer, your tablet, anything, even in your video games. Take a break. It can maybe lead you to discovering things about yourself, hobbies, new hobbies, and other friends. Okay, new people around you. So just take a break. Okay, that's how you cope with cyberbullying. But that's just only a few of the ways that you can cope up. Okay? Now, we proceed to how are you going to help people who are cyberbullied? Okay? But these are just only a few of the ways that you can help them. Okay? First is to reassure them that it's not their fault. Okay? It can be hard not to take bullying to heart. That's a fact. But tell the person that's being bullied that the problem is not with them. Apart from them telling themselves that it's not their fault, but they also need to hear it from someone else. Okay? Just reminding them that bullies are the ones who feel insecure can be a real help. Okay? Say something like, "Kopakay ka. Strong kay ka, 'di ba? You're really strong. The bully is the one who's weak. Kay need pa niya mga way para sa uban, 'di ba? He needs to pick on people just to feel good. Dili ba ito cool, di ba ito gwapo, ana good, 'di ba? So encourage them, reassure them that they are wonderful people. Okay? Next is tell the bully to stop. Just simply tell the bully to stop. Get the bully's attention, and once you have their attention, communicate clearly to the person who's bullying and simply tell them to stop. Okay? Make sure that your voice is assertive but calm and collected. Okay? The tone of your message is calm and collected. Okay, you can simply say that dili gid na maayo imong gibuhat. Okay? Please stop. Okay? Or you could say, I do not like how you're treating my friend. Dili na siya tama. Stop. Okay? But avoid yelling or retaliating. You don't want to hurt a bully's feeling because it might trigger worse attitude, worse behavior, okay? And they also are experiencing their own share of bad experiences, as I have mentioned earlier, okay? The reason of the whole idea of them becoming a bully, okay? Most of them are struggling themselves. So also, treat them with respect, okay? Number 3, document instances of bullying, okay? After you witness someone bullying a friend or a peer, write down what you saw and include what you felt as well as additional detail about what led up to the event. You can screenshot the incident or screen record it if it happened online, okay? Or when it happened personally, face to face, you can take a video, okay, for the evidences. Okay? Next, share what you saw with a trusted adult. Now, as soon as you can talk to an authority figure you trust. Excuse me. Tell your parent, tell a teacher, a counselor, even a school nurse or whoever is present on the nearest office on the incident. Okay, or anyone in authority about the incident. Ask them who to seek for the incident to be addressed. Okay? Then the documents you have gathered, share a copy about it with them. Okay? Next, follow up after reporting. Of course, adults and administrators, this cannot be denied, are not perfect. Sometimes really important things like stopping bullying can get forgotten. Although, if they do not um, create or do anything to address the situation, they can be liable of Article 1067, if you remember, the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013 that encourages school to adopt policies and address bullying situations. Oh, okay. But what you can also do is check in a few days after reporting bullying and ask if action was taken or any other information from you is needed. Okay? But if you're not getting anywhere, tell a different adult or administrator. Okay? Lastly, check in with the victim often. Do not forget do not forget to update your friend or the victim about the status of the report. Okay? Also, constantly talk to them about the incident and reassure them that it's gonna be okay. Okay? Make them feel that you can be relied on. Ask them how they feel and what they want to do about the situation. Okay? Spot signs. This is the very important thing. Spot signs of suicide tendencies and report immediately to close authority if there is. Okay? Please be there for them always. Now, to conclude the discussion, I will also be sharing to you another video. Okay? Okay? Everything that we discussed on the slides are collected on the video presentation. If you observed, we have the victim being able to share her experience and the family was able to help her and the people around her who's able to help her too. Okay? They seek action to they seek help to the teacher as well. Okay, they educated them and thus making the situation solved. Okay, now this is where we determine how we determine cyberbullying and you, how you're going to position yourselves with cyberbullying on three different scenarios. Okay, especially those people who typed or who dropped zero earlier on the questions. Okay, first scenario, a sex scandal. A sex scandal of your friend is circulating online. How are you going to respond? Okay, please drop your answers on the comment section. Just short answers for this. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds to answer that. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you can still drop your answers if you want to. Next scenario, mean comments. You have been receiving mean comments on your profile picture. How are you going to respond? Okay, based on our discussion earlier, how are you going to respond? Drop your answers on the comment section in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? Last scenario. Identity theft. Someone used your identity and participate in malicious online activities. Okay? How are you going to respond? Drop your answers in the comment section again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can still drop your answers in the comment section if you want to. Okay? Or you can create a post on your timeline about these situations. Okay? Now, that concludes our discussion today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being attentive. If you want to connect with me, if you have further questions about the discussion, if you want to know anything, here are my contact details, my phone number, my Facebook account, and my emails, personal and work email.
Thank you, Ma'am Anna, for that very inspiring and informative talk. To give us the closing remarks, let us lend our ears to Ms. Dorothy A. Montalvo, SSG Vice President.
Sulig best morning, everyone. As we reach the end of this webinar, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our guest speaker, Ms. Pamela Bandoy, about the prevention and awareness of cyberbullying. In today's world, which has been made smaller by technology, a new problem has been born. No doubt, technology has a lot of benefits. However, also comes with a negative side. And from what we heard from our speaker, one of the negative side of this is cyberbullying, which results a lot of insecurities and complexes that lead to anxiety and depression. We students be aware and be alert to prevent this kind of incidents. Cyberbullying should stop. Again, sulig best morning.
Thank you everyone for lending your time in this webinar. I hope all of us learned something from it. Once again, thank you and God bless us all.